to Awake Women. I'm Lorraine Flaherty.
I'm Alexandra Wenman.
I'm Andrea Cutlen.
And I'm Charlene Anna Louise.
And today we're going to be talking about how you can empower the empath.
Absolutely. I think we're going to go straight to you with this.
Oh,
because, but actually, no, we can start. I don't mind saying anything, but empathy is a real thing, and many of you who are on this awakening path, this journey, are sensitive souls. And even if you're not sensitive, I think that the more you raise your consciousness and the more you heal and go within, you develop that more sensitive energy about yourself anyway. So I think we want to help empower you with that, so you're not feeling, what's what I'm looking for?
Vulnerable,
vulnerable, too sensitive, where you can't go out into the world and enjoy being a human being, you know. So again, I'm going to pass you to Andrea now. We're going to go there because Andrea, this is a passion for her as well about empathy, and let's just pass you to you.
Okay, well, we're all sentient beings, so we all feel, okay? That's what we do. And we all, we can all sense something in another person. You know, you meet somebody in the street and think, something doesn't feel right. Or, you know, you walk into a room and you can kind of feel that something's happened there. Or we all have that. And I think everybody sort of takes for granted this, you know, what we feel. But my point about all this and what I don't like, okay, is the fact that much is written about being an empath. However, it all states about how sensitive we are and how we can't do certain things and we can't be around certain people or places. And I just really want to kind of eliminate that, because, you know, the fact that once you are in tune with your empathy, you are the most powerful being, because we have all our physical senses, but we have our extra senses. So the very fact that all this stuff is written to say that we're too sensitive actually kind of doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because if we're gifted with extra senses, then we're more powerful, right?
Yeah.
So I think what we want to do today is really eliminate this myth, if you like, that being an empath makes you far weaker, when in fact it makes you far stronger. So I don't know whether you ladies...
I'd like to add something here, because we've often been taught as well that you're basically stuck with the energy in a place. But what I'm finding is, what I found for myself and what I teach, is how to change the energy around you. We're powerful co-creators of our world, but you can change your perception. You can decide to shift the energy in the room. You can expand your energy out. We might even teach you some tools to do that today. We'll see how the conversation goes. But as an empath, don't feel, a lot of us were born as what we call indigo children, where you kind of feel like, oh, I don't belong, I don't fit in, I'm somehow different. But we're going through an evolution. We actually are. We're evolving through. Many of you might have heard of crystal children, rainbow children, these new diamond souls coming in. We're actually evolving within ourselves, from indigo children to crystal, rainbow, and beyond as you go through that evolution. And what that means is, as you step more and more into your power, you become aware that you're never stuck with any situation. You can change it. And that is real empowerment. So if you're very sensitive, don't fret. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. You can actually shift your perception, your energy, and then expand it out and change the energy of the space around you.
I mean, when we first go through the awakening process, yes, we do feel too sensitive to certain energies. Yes, we are, but that's as we're adjusting. We're adjusting to that new extra sense, if you like, and that can be quite difficult. That can be, you know, quite awkward for people. However, we don't stay with that, and as I said, and I'll say it again, there is way too much information out there on that stagnant part of, you know, where you're feeling quite vulnerable and you're very sensitive to those energies, but it does not stay there. And for me, it was really, I don't know, probably about a year ago. And I was doing meditations on this, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, if I'm here to do a job, if I'm here to heal people, if I'm here to, you know, heal land, clear space, then surely this is an empowerment. I have to be able to use this to my advantage. And I love this. I love the fact that I have these extra senses that I can use. So no, this is now about empowering the empath, and the very fact that when we do sense something that's not right, or we do sense, that is like a signpost, if you like, for perhaps some healing that needs to be done within you or in another, or maybe the space needs to be cleared.
Hit the nail on the head there. It comes down to healing. So if you are in a space where you are saying to yourself, I can't go out, I can't go into Tesco's or Asda shopping, I can't go into public places, then if you are really feeling that energy, that more intense, denser energy, like you know, coming into your space and overpowering you, and you just can't cope, then there's something going on. There's a separation there, because I went through this and I had to heal this with the help of Andrea, actually. And I couldn't go shopping, I couldn't go into a big venue full of people, that's what I said to myself all the time, I can't do that. And every time I went, I would come back drained, having to clear my energy, my aura, getting white sage out, I was doing all that stuff, I felt attachments. So
you should make garb today, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm all kind of stuff. But you know, for me, what it taught me was this: I had to heal something. There was something weak about my aura. My aura wasn't strong. I was allowing myself to be weak, if that makes sense. Once I started to do the work and heal myself on all different levels, you know, all different kinds of ways of healing. Once I started to strengthen that up, and I started to be my own light and strength, then I started to go, I can go anywhere. I can go out into a pub with people drunk and everything. It does not affect me anymore. So if you can't go out into that space because you're too sensitive and you feel that, there's something going on within your aura, you know, whoever it is, there's something that needs to be healed. It causes a separation. If you feel you cannot go out to be a human being in this planet, separation is there straight away. You're separated from humanity. That's when the problems start.
Yeah. And also, I think traditionally, particularly for women, and this does apply to men as well, but I think we've been taught that when somebody's feeling bad or somebody is feeling low, that what we do is we go, in order to support that person, is to take on their pain. And I know that there is a whole kind of history of women wanting to support and hold the space for people, but rather than actually just accepting that this person is where they need to be and that they are processing and that it is exactly what they need in that moment in time, there is often a desire to want to change, to want to fix, to take the load. And there's a lot of, we work with martyrs and various different archetypes, the idea that, well, I would rather suffer for you, I would rather help and take that burden. And so I think a lot of people are programmed to want to help, to want to change something, to want to fix. And as soon as we step out of what is just an acknowledgement of another person and go into the acquiring of that, then we are going to hold that energy, we are going to take it on board, and then we are going to feel sort of burdened and loaded with all of that energy, which we're then going to have to clear. But when we talk about the aura, so one of the phrases that I quite often use is that if there is a space within, something that needs to be healed, that I refer to it as being a little bit like, or kind of in my perception, it's a bit like having sticky energy. So it's a bit like Velcro. So if there is a aspect of self that needs to be healed, if there is a lower vibration, which might be fear or pain or anger or despair or some aspect, some energy within self that needs to be healed, that creates this little vibration of an energy. And then you can walk out into an environment, and if there's energy around that matches that, that's the same vibration, then like the Velcro, it can come and it can stick to your energy field, and then you're going to carry that with you and take it around with you. And all it's going to do, it's not going to kill you, it's not necessarily destructive, but it is just going to drain your energy field, and it will amplify whatever experience you're having already. It will make it worse. Now, in a way, that's a gift, because as it amplifies, it shows you what you need to go away and work on, and what it is that you need to change. But it also is a really clear indication of what's going on with you. And the beauty is that once you clear that sticky energy, once you clear that and you heal that within you, you take the Velcro away, and then your energy is smooth. So you could walk into an environment, you could walk into a haunted house where there are a gazillion ghosts, and if there's nothing for them to hold on to, they may fly around in your energy field.
You'll sense them.
Heavy energies, you may feel it, you may sense it. But if it has nothing to hold on to within you and your energy field, then you're not going to take it with you. You will be able to travel freely through those spaces without a worry or a concern that you may take on board something that's not yours.
I want to talk about emotions with empaths as well. A lot of empaths as Andrea said, think that their strong emotions are a negative thing. But actually, one of the processes that I take clients through is to think about what we call a negative emotion, I suppose, if you're experiencing that. Instead of trying to repress it and squash it down and run away from it and go, oh, I don't like this. I mean, we're human. We all have lower emotions. We have things like fear and jealousy and shame. Shame is one of the lower ones because it's very inactive and it makes you feel very disempowered. Instead of trying to stuff it down, go into a meditative space. We've talked about coming back into your center and just connect lovingly with that emotion. Just say thank you, whatever this emotion is. Thank you for coming. And I like to imagine that emotion has a consciousness of its own. And I have a little conversation with it. I create it. I say, what shape are you? What color are you? I try to imagine what it looks like. Is it tangible? And then I say, right, how are you serving me? How are you helping me? What do you think you've come here for, to show me? Oftentimes with an empath, you'll find that fear has come in to try to protect you. So when you connect with it and you send love into it, have a conversation with it, you can start asking it questions, and you're really having a question with your higher mind.
I'm a big believer in speaking with emotions. I do the emotion code, and I think speaking with the emotions is one of the most powerful things you can do. Give it attention. Go in.
Give it love and like tell it, it's valued because it has come to teach us something. And as Laurie said, it will be amplified by our external circumstances that mirror it. You might be triggered by somebody in your family or a friend or something like that, I suppose. Or some people, might have uncomfortable situations where another person has prodded an old emotional wound, but it's always a blessing. And when you turn it from fear into gratitude, that's when you can start to transform.
really can change this, because I am an absolute pure example of this. And Andrea, you've seen me go from the worst of this to the best of it.
This confident young
it
woman.
was only
used to be a basket
it was only recently, January, February.
Exhibit A.
No, we won't get her out of Tesco's.
Actually, Tesco's, in any shopping centre, by the way, was.
Is it
any shopping
farmers
centre,
market,
any place where it was people, basically. Every time I went out into public, what am I going to say? I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It was the worst experience. I came home feeling shattered, exhausted, attachments. I felt everything. I was picking up on everything in there, and it was really starting to get in the way of my life. And I was thinking, what's the point of going out? I'll just sit at home and be a hermit, because there's no point in going out. But actually, it was my issue that I had to heal, because I had to work on many things to do with, believe it or not, humanity. So here I am helping you guys and doing my job, but I still had to build a relationship with humanity because of many past lives, many issues that's happened to me. I had to do a lot of forgiveness, a lot of going into my compassionate space and understanding other people. Once I healed this on a deep level, that completely changed my energy, and I can walk out into the busiest of crowds and not be affected. In fact, I can't remember the last time I shielded myself, because I don't need to do this anymore. Unless I'm going through some serious healing and I'm lowering my vibration, I'll bring in a shield. But other than that, I am the shield. So that's, it is about just changing that within. We can go anywhere, and I am super empathic like all of you. I mean, I feel the pain of a squashed ant on the floor. I can cry for 2 days at that, seeing an ant suffering. So I know about empathy and feeling that of everything in the world. I transmute pain from the world, like many of us around the world do. But if we know about it, we're empowered straight away.
Exactly. And then you're able to, even with a thought, even with an intention, you can send love or light or healing to a situation. Like a lot of these, my husband, he's a bit of an empath himself, but he likes to watch like animal shows on telly, and I can't bear it, because if I see the animal impact, I feel it like an electric shockwave through my body, and it's just like really like, and you feel it. But even with a thought of sending, bless, healing, and thankfully the ends of those shows are usually, you only see the happy endings, the ones that recover and great with that shows.
It is about the mind, and when I walk into a big busy place, I walk with the intention of clearing that space of if I'm next to lots of people, I see it as me, I need to be there. If we as empathic people working in service in whatever way you're doing to make this world a better place, if we say we cannot go out somewhere and we cannot be there and we can only be with spiritually enlightened beings in a small space, how are we going to change this world? How are we going to be the light and show the way to others that are lost? We need to be in it. To be it.
You've got to be in your shit to shovel it.
Yeah.
If you ignore the pig pen will overflow, and then it's going to be an even messier situation.
So we need to be embracing this, but you know, I'm definitely sympathetic to everyone that is in that energy of that low vibration and feel smothered by it. So we need to change your mind. We need to change the way you see things and the way you are in your inner self. You know, heal many things to get you into a high vibration. So these things just slip off you and they don't bother you anymore.
And there's one really simple exercise I think you mentioned briefly in one of our earlier videos that people can use, particularly when they're either preparing to go into spaces or when they've been affected by something and they're seeing things out in the world that they don't like or that they're not comfortable with, or it could be somebody that's triggered something, as you say, a button that's been pressed, and an emotion has come up that might feel a bit overwhelming. And it's just simply the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is the Hawaiian huna. And they're the Hawaiian shamans, and they understand that everything that we experience in the outside world is a mirror of something that's going on inside of us. And so rather than going out into the world and doing prayers and sending healing to that which is outside, what they do is they take complete ownership for the fact that whatever it is that they are experiencing, that it must at some point begin with them, that it must dwell inside of them for them to be able to see it, for it to be reflected in the world. And so what they do is they set an intention to heal themselves. And it's the simplest, most beautiful prayer, and I'm sure all of us have had really powerful experiences using this. I know we had some amazing experiences the first time in Egypt, where we completely changed the vibration in a temple, where there were some really angry male gods that when
I was just ranting about that the other day.
When a large group of women came in, and you're not allowed to do any meditations or any prayers or any kind of rituals in these temples, they're very strict about it. But we were just wandering around the space, we weren't doing anything deliberate, and these guards were yelling and shouting at each other, so we couldn't go into a place of peace in the temple. The energy was so angry. And unbeknown to me, I had started doing the Ho'oponopono, and I'll share the prayer with you in a minute. I didn't know that loads of the other women on the tour had actually, you were doing it, and then we talked later. And all of a sudden there was just this shift. It was just absolutely amazing. And then one of the guards came up and grabbed me, and I thought, oh, what's happening here? And he took me off into a side temple where there was this beautiful plinth, and he was saying to me to put my hands on it. And then he came around the other side, and I could feel this surge of energy, and I think it was the Holy of Holies in the temple. And I was crying because the energy of this thing was so amazing. And then the other guards had gone off and brought everybody else in. Wow. So suddenly, from being totally unwelcomed and these guys being in this really bad energy, everything shifted, and we all cried, and we all held hands, and we all bonded around this space, and we all kind of prayed together, but in our own, because they didn't speak any English.
Then they wanted their photo taken.
And then they wanted their photo taken with us, and it was one of those things where normally it's bakshish, they want money for anything they do. These guys wouldn't take any money. When they left, they hugged us, they were crying. I mean, it was so beautiful. So this prayer is really, really simple. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you.
It's beautiful, that. It's just
and so, you know, and I'm sorry is just acknowledging that you chose to have this experience and that you're going to learn from it. Please forgive me is the acknowledgement of the challenge that you gave yourself, and you know, you're just in the acceptance of it. I love you, unconditional love, for whatever happens and for whatever you're experiencing. And thank you. We move to gratitude for the lesson that was learned from the experience.
And just that alone shifted that energy, you know. It's really powerful, isn't it?
So powerful.
It's
so I'm sorry,
powerful.
Please forgive me, I love you, thank you.
And it will heal it at the root as well. You
Yeah.
go right into it, because every person you come into contact with, you've had probably a karmic experience with somewhere along the way. Even the random stranger you pass in the street that you lock eyes with. We are all so connected, and everyone is here. We're all here to teach each other and learn from each other. So if someone does trigger you, bless them, really bless them and thank them, and then do that prayer, because really they are holding up a mirror.
Yeah.
So if someone's not treating you with love, it's showing you, where am I not loving myself enough?
Yeah.
We've all experienced that.
Yes.
And that's what, again, empowers us as well as, you know, divine beings. So that's really, I mean, let's see what kind of share tools or something that works for us. I mean, what do you use for yourself to, as an empathic being, to not, what helps you to go out into a public space and not have any effect by any negativity?
Heal myself.
Mm.
I am full of self-love. I am, and not in an egoic way or anything. I don't know why I looked at you.
We
like
love
I know what I'm saying.
No egos here.
I feel no shame. I'm proud of myself. I have nothing for negativity to attach to.
Yeah.
In this moment, I'm not saying that that's, you know, I'm perfect or anything along those lines, but in this moment, I have no negativity. You're not negative, are you? I have no negativity.
I love attaching to you.
Yeah, we love attaching to you. You are, we're like bubble of love, you know.
We're like, love you.
Negative.
Over the past, especially 5 years, I've done so much work on myself that I didn't want to experience negativity anymore, and because I was aware that it was all a mirror. And my biggest lesson was the self-love, and that's what I took the deepest healing was last year, as you know. And I tore myself apart and down and everything else to rebuild myself. But when you, as we mentioned earlier, when you don't have anything for that negativity to attach to inside, then it doesn't. You can be aware of, you know, an area or a person, and you're just like, okay, you know, but it's not something that triggers me. It's not affecting me. It's not, it has nothing to attach to. So the key is, everything starts with you. Everything starts with you on your path, is to heal yourself and to rid yourself of any negativity that you feel about self.
So I do a few things. So so of course I work on myself all the time, and I will be until the end of this lifetime, probably other lifetime. So we never stop. Okay, so I work on myself, but I still am working on myself. So I'm releasing lots of past stuff still. Even now, talking to you guys, I am working on myself. So I'm all over the place right now, but in a good way. So what I do is, every single day, prayer is really, really important for me, and connecting to my creator, okay? So whatever that want, you know, the universe, whatever you want to connect to, your higher self, anything. But for me, every single day I start my day by connecting to my creator, and I feel that Christ energy flowing through my whole being, and I really, really love that. And when I get that fulfillment of just my connection and everything just blending, oneness and all that kind of stuff, I'm able to then walk about my day, okay? So I never leave my house without that. On the days that I'm going through healing and I feel my vibration is low, and I know that, it's a personal thing, then I will call in Archangel Michael. I ask for a little bit of extra shielding. I call in the Mahatma energy. I call in Saint Germain and the Violet Flame. So I do work with all of this still. I don't walk around just, you know, I'm in this vibration, because my vibration is not always constant. You're more constant than me with your vibration. I don't know why I'm not. It's a personal thing. Some days I'm buzzing and some days I'm not. I understand where I am, and I work with what I've got around me, and I work with that. So some days I'm flowing in the divine light, and some days I'm like, come on guys, surround me.
I'm a lot like you. I used to, when I first kind of got on this spiritual path, it was like, Archangel Michael, protect me, and all of that stuff. And I'd go out like, almost like with a winter wardrobe of cloaks and body armour and like bubbles of energy.
Oh my god, there's so many lights around there.
All sorts of like laser light.
That much light, nobody can get in. That much protection light, but no one could get in.
I stopped working with the word protection.
Me too.
And I started working with the word safe. And I will now just drop into what, and again, I'll work with my imagination. What does it feel like to feel 100% safe? And if I don't feel safe, okay, what would it feel like to imagine I'm 100% safe in this moment? And it makes me think there's a line in a channel book called A Course in Miracles, and the line, it stayed with me. I heard about it on a Marianne Williamson workshop once many years ago, and the phrase is, "In my defenselessness, my safety lies." Now, when we let go of the need to defend constantly or feel that we're under threat, because protection implies that there's something coming to get you, you have to protect against.
Yeah.
Safety is just, well, I'm safe, I'm in comfort, I'm in security, I'm already whole as I am. And like Charlie and I will still put protection around me. I will bring out my shielding, my shielding and my safety. But it really starts from how you feel. And you can change the way you feel just through pure intention.
Yeah.
Now, with energies and with people. So that phrase, "in my defenselessness, my safety lies," really saved my life, because as an empath, and I used to attract a lot of bullying, lots of people bullying me, turning on me, all of that. But it was because I felt like I had to defend myself, I had to defend my decisions. And even as I was kind of coming out of the spiritual closet, trying to talk to people about it, when I stopped feeling the need to justify what I was feeling and experiencing, or convince them that I was having these experiences, I dropped into defenselessness. I went, I don't need to defend myself. And then when people would come up and go, "Oh, prove it to me," I'd be like, no, it's not my job. And then I would feel utterly safe. But it's the same thing with the energies. If you feel under threat and you allow yourself to go into fear, then you will attract fear. If you stay in a vibration of love and trust, then everything, it like you guys have said, it can't latch on.
Or as my lovely friend Bevan Clive would say, trust, honour and allow to get the experience to come in, you know. And I thought I saw something fly past there.
Buzzing with some energy.
I was laughing earlier because I'm sure I saw Lorraine like do a big yawn or something. And I was like, I don't know, maybe somebody else found it. It's so funny. But honestly, you know, what you see is what you get with us, and we're all with you guys. We're all going through this, and recording this video today is, you know, the energy is really intense. The planet is all over the place right now, so we're feeling it too. So if we do bring any energy across that, we're flagging a little bit.
We're human.
Then we're just human beings, and we're trying our best.
Human beings. I want to share a little, just what I do now in terms of my shielding is instead of cloaking or, shrinking my light, my guides have given me this visualization tool, which is I put a diamond around me, which the point is coming from infinite source above here, and the bottom point goes to infinite mother below, whatever, up and down there, it's all here now. But it's like an octahedron shape around me, and it's a diamond. And what happens is that I can shine my light and be as bright as I want to and as expanded as I want to. But I imagine that the outer kind of edge of this diamond is the hardness of an actual physical diamond. Yeah. So that it becomes impenetrable to any negativity, and but it can give and receive love and light really easily, and you can change the texture of it and all of that stuff. But it means that I can walk out into the world without feeling I need to diminish or shrink myself, without fear of threats. And big blue light just went off in front of your face.
It's all going on right there.
Because the diamond light, the diamond white light, is the light of the ascension. It's that pure.
Can I throw a question into the mix here?
Well, we like questions.
If, and this is the way I work with being an empath and open to, this is where I've done the work because I face this so-called negativity. Why do we want to shield ourselves from something that is a signpost that needs to be healed? So surely, is it not better to have no shield, to have the experience, to then notice what needs to be healed within, to then heal that?
I think that's fantastic to bring that up.
You see it all with unconditional
We do,
love.
but I do think that there is a time and a place, because if you're actually in the process of actually doing something specific, either for you or for, you know, if you're in the middle of a process, then you don't really want to be open to some other thing that's going to be brought up tonight. So I think there's probably a time and a place
responsibility.
of knowing when it is a time to be open to those kinds of things.
Everything all at once. So that's probably why I was in such a bad state last year.
And most people might want to do it gradually. And most people want to do it gradually.
Follow your intuition as well. Like you'll
know thyself.
Yeah,
know thyself. It's all about knowing yourself. You know how sensitive you are. You know what needs to be worked on, or if you don't, you need to get to know yourself. So you do.
Yeah.
You know what places you can go and what places are going to maybe be heavy in energy. So it's and again, if you are one of those people that likes to layer with the colours around your aura, then try not to go too much on the cobalt blue all the time, because when you do this, people don't realise this. A lot of people cover themselves in the cobalt blue light, and then they go out to a social event, but they don't meet anybody. No one talks to them. Nothing happens, because you're so shielded that you're actually projecting an energy that you don't want anything in your energy. So nothing comes. So I always say, bring some pink in there. If you're going to do the light thing, bring some energies, rays of light that are going to expand.
When rainbow take the colour drink.
When I go to a social gathering now and it's going to be busy, the only light that I really bring in now is, for me, it's the Creator's light. It's the Christ light, if you want to say. It's our light. It's our light, and I just expand that. And because I want people to come to me. I want people to be in my aura so I can help them. Yeah. So again, it's all about just really finding out what you need to shift to strengthen yourself. It's actually quite amazing, honestly. It really is. When you know how to do this, you really become so empowered, and you can go anywhere. You'll be going down the supermarket tomorrow and having a good old time. So
I want to know about the hoovers. What? This is the spiritual hoover over here. I want to know about her tools.
Yeah.
Obviously I've experienced some of her.
Yeah, but again, but backing up what you guys are saying, I think the energy of trust is really important. So I bring myself into a state of trusting that I am going to be absolutely fine, I'm going to be absolutely safe. That is my intention when I move out into a space. But I'm also conscious that sometimes there are energies that are denser. If you're going into a place where battle scenes or places where there's an imprint on the land where trauma happened. And so my intent when I go out, and I'm going out into the world, and you don't know what you're going to be coming across, is to set an intention that any energy that is coming at me, and again, so it's not a specific shield or it's not a specific protection, but the energy that's coming at me, if it's good and it's pleasant and it's for my higher good, bring it on, it can come in. If there's any energy that is either heavy or dense or it's not a vibration that I sit with or is comfortable or familiar for me, that is coming at me, I'm going to just send it back gently, but I'm going to send it back transformed into unconditional love.
This is what I was just going to say about transmuting it, because as energy clearers, space clearers, etc., that's another job that we have here.
Absolutely.
And
we're all space clearers.
But it's really
important
that, I think in the past, people were randomly sending stuff back, and I was talking to somebody
or
recently,
banishing it to where?
I had a really interesting meeting with a guy who was an exorcist for the Catholic Church. Very interesting meeting, because there was a lot of fear in what he was doing. He was warning me off working with energies or clearing energies. But when I asked him a little bit about the work that he did, there was no love brought into the equation. There was no acknowledgement of the kind of possibilities that whatever energies or whatever he was working with might also be a part of the whole, and might also be part of, connected to who we are and part of the light. There was no intention to actually send energies lovingly back home to the space where they would belong. It was just getting rid of them. And so where do you think they're going to go? And you're doing that with anger, with rage, with almost violence to cast out these energies. And I said, what about a little bit of love and compassion and acceptance? And by sending love and light and creating a safe means by which these energies can return home and carry on the soul's journey, or even just negative imprints of energies. When we go in and we forgive, we acknowledge, we forgive, we bless, we send light, we send love into it. And then, one of the things that I will do if I'm in a space where I think that there is some heavy energy is I will just, and you can do it very simply, very quietly, it really doesn't cause any fuss whatsoever. Although I did do it once in Las Vegas in the middle of a casino. that was a whole other story. A whole other repercussions. But it's to just set an intention to open up a portal of light. Just really simply, and a portal of light somewhere in the space, and then I just forgive, bless, acknowledge, let whatever energies or whatever negativity, that there will be no judgment, and that, you know, that this energy can just go home. Go to wherever it needs to be. Sometimes I will actually assist by bringing in pure golden light and just, you know, just wrapping that energy very gently around and reminding souls or energies that are stuck, that there's no judgment in the spirit realms whatsoever.
Well, this is it. I mean, that a lot of that comes from the old sort of religious texts,
Yeah.
where it was all judgment and condemned this, that, and the other, and God was good on them. It is,
Absolutely.
and that's why they're stuck here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a case of just
But I also have to
reassuring.
say that applies also to everything that's going on in the world right now with
Everything.
living beings and
Yeah.
the wars and the troubles. You know,
Yeah.
rather than seeing things and being outraged and feeling anger and rage, even with all the bombing and the terrorism and all, you know, the things that are conjuring up all these energies of fear. You know, my immediate reaction is to send love, to send forgiveness, to send
And heal your reaction to
heal
it.
my reaction.
Yeah.
But to understand and acknowledge that on the human level, people do things because of a pain or because of suffering or fear that has been created for them or that has been generated. And so, knowing that we are all connected, I recognise that on a soul level, somewhere in the grand scheme of the quantum level of existence, that's a part of me. So if I condemn them, I'm condemning a part of myself.
Yeah.
So when we step out of judgment and we step into love, forgiveness, I think our vibration is raised so high anyway that we are safe.
I really like that. I like that you brought that up actually, because a lot of empathic people are actually not only picking up their own stuff, that a lot of people are, if you want to say, they're like magnets to the world's fears and problems and issues and all this kind of stuff. So I know that I have to constantly be aware of my own feelings and ask myself, is this me?
Yeah.
Or am I picking up a lot of crap from around the world that's going on right now? And I have to go into meditation and channel this, and I remove this and send it back up to the universe to be transmuted into light and love, like you said, all that stuff and all that, you know, sending back. So it's really important that as empathic souls we do absorb the planet, what's going on with everything. So if we can just be aware of that, and that will also lighten your load a little bit, and you won't be as, you know, if you want to say
But remember,
bombarded.
you don't have to take it on to heal it. And I think that's the misconception that's been.
I used to.
Yeah, that we think we've got to rescue everyone by taking it on. But the other thing that makes it easier, I suppose, to help to switch on a light in the darkness of the planet, because we know it's really can be that easy. You know, you switch on a light, you send love, and it can transmute it immediately. Is to remember that there is nothing outside of the divine. And there's nothing outside of the divine, which is the energy of unconditional love. And Lorraine and I were having this conversation a few months ago, actually. If you look at the yin and yang symbol, even in the darkest of dark, there is a spark of light. And even in the lightest of light, there is a spark of darkness. And it's what you choose to do with that energy. It's the choice. In this realm, we have duality. So you can choose to go into fear, or you can choose to stay in love. Love will always be the way. Love is always the way through to heal, to move forward. Fear and seeing everything as going wrong is always just going to keep you attracting more fear and stagnated and stuck. So come back to love.
It's always the way.
Yeah.
It's always the way. And it's the love actually that will strengthen everything about you as well, and coming from all the places that we've just been speaking about, you know, unconditional love and gratitude and all those places, that just by itself that will strengthen so much about you, you know. So I think if you take into context all the things that we've talked about, and healing yourself and recognizing if there's things attaching to you, that there could be lessons or other things that you're picking up on other people, if you can work with that you'll help to raise your vibration, and then you can just go anywhere without any issues.
And that goes down to, you know, the whole topic of the conversation, and that is love being an empath.
Yes.
You know,
I love being an empath. I love it. I don't know how I could walk this earth with not having that empathy. It's like that's my map in a way. It's like I know where to go. I can feel it. I can sense things. I know what's dangerous. I know what's safe. I know who's good, who's bad. It's, work with it. Don't work against it. Work with it. It's an amazing thing to have, and it's you can. Oh yeah, life for me has changed within the space of about 4 months. I could go to a rave today.
It's not going after this.
I could go to a rave and be with 1,000 people that are not awakened, and be with them and be good. And
Can
be
I just
fine.
say, many ravers are awakened,
Yeah.
which is why they're struggling with the energies, which is why they do the drugs, but they need that vibe. They are awakened.
Yeah. That's probably why I used to go raving in 1995. Can I also, before we go, to highlight, maybe you could shed some light on this as well. A lot of people around the world right now are causing separation for themselves by I was called this once, okay? I was called a dimensionalist. It's like being a racist, but a dimensionalist. So in other words, like I separated people's vibrations. I'd be like, well, they're 3D and I'm 5D, and I can't be around 3D people. So I'm seeing this quite a lot, and that in itself will make you.
It's us and them again, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. We are
We're all
every
one.
dimension.
We're all one, and if you have to get this away from your mind of saying, I can't go to there because they're all 3D people and I'm awakened now and this is where it's going, and that's going to cause a huge separation because, how can you be on this planet?
And there's no victim and perpetrator. Remember that anyone who is acting without love is only doing so because somewhere they believe that they are lacking in love. Even the worst people in the world, I'm not going to go into the real, hairy stuff, but it's always because they have a belief that they're somehow separated from love. So if we just remember that there is, we need more love. What do you do with an absence of light? You turn on a light. What do you do with an absence of love? You throw love at it, or you heal that which is in you that can't see the love in it. So anyway, I'm going to keep rambling.
So on that note, the answer to any question is love.
Yes. And embrace your empathic energy, and just start to live in love.
And we're beaming love at
release
you
the fear
through the screen because right now you are a mirror of us, really, because we can see ourselves on camera. But anyway, we love you all. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I think we need a group hug up.
Thanks, ladies. Guess what? I'm looking up and my brain is working.
Finally, after 4 takes.
Should we do some more shows?